Thank you. Testing audio 1, 2, 3. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Match this up. Alpha Quashers against. I'll find that out, but the game getting underway at 2 p.m. This is an audio check. Audio check 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's match, a domestic league T20 format match between Alpha Quashers of Yokohama taking on the Wyvern Cricket Club. Lists are up on the screen for you. The Wyverns will be pleased to see Wataru Miyochi return to his team after spending perhaps almost a month in Sri Lanka, being part of a squad there in terms of training, part of the Sri Lankan Premier League. So should be a match without interruption. There may be some rain forecasted, thunderstorms perhaps this afternoon. If they are, they're usually short and sweet. At the moment, hot and humid conditions, sun and competing with the cloud, mostly being overcast, but the sun poking through at the moment. Kohei Kubota has the ball in hand for the Wyverns. Yokohama winning the toss, electing to bat. Should be a good game. 150 wasn't enough for Chiba Sharks this morning and taking on the Max Cricket Club. Perhaps 160 being a par score for Quashes. About to get underway. First ball of the day and swing and a miss for Kesari. Apologies, it's Wakuta, the bowler, Yusuke, coming in from the mountain end here on a warm day and it's getting a little bit of shape away. Here's a first slip, perhaps a wider second or third slip in place. Yusuke Wakuta looking just to hit a good line and length, taking the ball away from the batsman. A little bit wide there and has been ruled as so from umpire Chris Thurgate in his second match standing today. It's a better line and length from Wakuta and Kisali just almost nibbling at that, looking to drive, but the ball just moving off the seam. Kohei Kubota is in the team for the Wyverns, will probably open up from the other end. This one's been hit into the covers. Some slick fielding, but not good enough to stop the single being taken. Apologies, my eye was on the ball. The non-striker did turn down the batsman, so no run taken. It came a fair way down, had Kasadi, so had to backtrack pretty quickly. Managed to do so. And looks to turn this one onto the onside. Just comes off his pad, so ruled league buys. Slashes and misses at a wide one, and that'll be the end of the over. Just the 2 runs coming from it, from a wide and a leg by, so pretty good start from Wakuta. Ibisui to continue, not Kubota. Chance for a run out, and he's slipped over and he's out. Run out. And not happy as well. It's always going to be tight for two, but you can see the batsman there trying to gain pace, just tripping himself up, falling flat and short of the crease. And well, Miyauchi didn't need any invitation to take the bails off and force the first wicket. Alpha Quashers off to a bad start here. 1 for 2. Sorry, 1 for 3. Of course, they were awarded the first run. Coming back for the second is where they fell short. Ibisui. A throw coming in from Kubota that caused the run out. Riyad Mohammed, the new batsman to the crease for Alpha Quashers Yokohama. Ibisui to continue. Does well, beating the bat on that occasion. Not a great start for the Alpha Quashers, just the 2 runs off the first over, being kept pretty quiet. And then the wicket, the run out. No worse feeling for a team. Again, beating the bat, just on a nagging line and length at the moment is Ibisui. Just played out to short cover for no run. At the end of the over, I'll take you through the current table. This is a Group B match, just to let viewers know the standings currently and how this match will fall in favour. See there, short cover, just in the eye line of the batsman, just creating that feel of pressure. It's Wakata in that position. Comes down the wicket, goes to straight hit, chance, opportunity. It's Miyauchi under it, currently in the unfamiliar position at mid-off, not with the gloves on. Wicket-keeper for Wyverns today is Sota Hashimoto. So Miyauchi playing in the outfield, which he usually enjoys. Half chance, but well, unable to get to the ball really, so no complaints. Wyverns have started better of the two teams with just the first 2 overs done. Really warm conditions here at Sano, a town about an hour north of Tokyo. 37 degrees currently. There are thunderstorm alerts. They may come. Seems to have its own microclimate, does the Sano. But along with the humidity, the real feel is around that 40 degrees spot. Hence the regular stoppages for drinks. Chance, this is back to slight error in the field, but I could tell this is back to. Just went for the 2 runs in his first over, did Wakata. Off the back foot, it is cut and cut behind point. Backward point. Put in a diving attempt, outstretched hand, but unable to take the catch full safely. Just dropped their second or third slip. Put another one on, again on the extra cover side. Chance here and taken easily at mid-on inside the circle. It was a false shot really. Neither looking to go hard and aggressive over the top of the field. Just almost played directly to the fielder. So the second wicket falls here. Alpha Quashers are now 6 for 2, struggling in the power play. Wakuta with his first wicket, 3 balls remaining in his second over. Again, just on a good line of length, and the new batsman, Leo Joseph, just having a look at that one first up, comes out with his team in a bit of a hole. Hibisui taking the catch 2 balls prior, comfortably taken by him. Joseph looking to cut, but pulls out of the stroke, almost expecting a wide, but still within the line. Final delivery coming up for Wakuta. As he started brilliantly for his team. 1 for 3. Has a second slip in now as well. And again, he's just getting a little bit of shape. Movement off the seam. So 2 overs gone for Waikato. He's already made a good contribution. 1 for 3. Alpha Quashers struggling at 6 for 2 with 3 overs gone. Ibisui for a second over, and again he's bowling a similar line to his partner Wakuta. Just a slight bit of movement away from the right-hander batsman. Hence this first slip still in place. I realise Ibisui can swing the ball. Just defended from Krishna. So this is a Group B match currently. The Wyverns sit third on the table. Actually, it's second equal, sorry. They're on 8 points. The leader, Sano, on 10 points, followed by the Wyverns on 8 points. Cut late, but Gully will restrict any run. As for the Alpha Quashers, well, they've played 2 matches without a win. They sit fair square at the bottom of the table alongside the Star Knights of Tokyo. They're in 7th position. So a win essential for Alpha Quashers if they're to make the quarterfinals. Four dots so far from Ibisui, along with his partner Yusuke Wakuta have started well for the team, bowling to their fields, getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of plan miss from the batsman. Just a 6 runs for Alpha Quasher of what almost is 4 overs. They really need to get a move on. Cut late and cut for 4 runs, much needed 4 runs. Alpha Quashers, 4 overs gone, 10 for 2. The 2 matches the Alpha Quashers have played have been totally dominated. Hold out for 55 versus Sano last weekend, and earlier on a massive loss to the Tigers outfit. It was over 100 runs, so they've struggled thus far in the competition, the tournament. Can they change that around today against the Wyvern Cricket Club? This is Kohei Kubota, his first over from the mountain end. Member of the Japan national squad. Big tall lad, doesn't mind banging it in short of length. Another dot ball. It's the 19th dot ball, and we're in the 5th over. It's far too many. Alpha Quashers need to somehow look to get bat on ball, nurdle it, push it, guide it into gaps where they can just start picking up singles, rotate the strike. Another dot, that's 20 dots now. So, on the other hand, for the Wyvern Cricket Club, they'll be thrilled with how their opening 3 bowlers have started. Wakata, Ebisu and Kubota. Cut for 4 runs. It's a good shot. Just went onto his back feet, got high on the balls of his feet, and played the shot with conviction. Here's the replay. Cuts in front of point, races across the turf for a much needed 4 runs for the Alpha Quashers. Apart from the 2 boundaries they've hit, they haven't much to cheer about. The fans. Let's one go through to the keeper. Final over of the power play about to commence. Masolka bowling that 6th over. He has been dropped in and out of the hands, and what could have been another wicket. Unfortunately, the opportunity's been lost to the Wyverns. Hit square and square leg. Well, it can come quick to you, but perhaps just lost. The result being 4 runs, and that's the 3rd boundary for the Alpha Quashers. 3 4s. This time just easing and hitting out to mid-off. Chance, but not taken. Keeper lost it. Lost the flight of the ball, whether it was in fact off the bat or gloves. And just a sweep off the front foot up to deep mid-wicket. Masolka looking just to pitch it and take it away from the batsman. Some would turn, some won't. That one, the latter. Tries to punch it over the mid-wicket area. Does Joseph misses out, brings up the end of the over. 6 gone. The power play has come to an end. And the Alpha Quashers, 19 for 2. After the loss of 2 early wickets, they've really struggled, and it's a run rate below par. Won't get any easier for the Alpha Quashers as Kohei Kubota bustles in from the mountain end, played to backward point, and direct hit. No chance. I thought of an overthrow, but not taken. Short and targeted at the body, but well dealt with. Batsman Krishnan just turning it round the corner using the pace, rotating the strike, something that batsmen really need to think about. Can't afford to face too many dot balls. You're only given 120. And gets big on him, comes off the body, unable to connect as Leo Joseph looking to play the big shot, especially out in that mid-wicket square leg region. Just using soft hands, he just gently defends that. Another dot. Driven beautifully wide of long off, not entirely on the boundary. Wonderful shot we'll see here on the replay. Just leans on it, Joseph, and just powers through. Shows the full face of the bat, and it's a good shot. Midoff can only watch that fire across the turf. This time it's edgy, and the cameraman expecting it to carry out to third man. It hasn't. It was out towards Point Gully, but unable to be held. Goes down. Mistake in the field. You don't often see that from the Wyverns. They're a pretty good fielding unit. And Joseph remains at the crease. 24 for 2, 7 overs gone. Masaoka back with the ball in hand. Bowling with a slip in. The left armour looking to pitch it and take it away. Hit down to long on, falling well short, and will result in just a single being taken. Floats one up and is wide a ball. Batsman not interested in reaching out and having a go at it. Retrieves the ball off his own bowling. You see the figures down the bottom right of your screen as to what sort of score they can get from here. Perhaps going at 7 and over, 9 and over is a goal, perhaps of a score around 120. They've started very slowly. At this rate, they won't get to 100, just 3.5 and over. That'll help though. It's a good shot. Wasn't quite maximum, but perhaps it'll be the beginning of something for the Alpha Quashers. Another wide delivery. There's the pressure of a boundary, the ball before it. Joseph goes again, gets it out of the screws. Does he? No. Falls short, probably by a metre or so, and comfortably caught on the boundary. Takuya Ono taking the catch and doing a little celebratory dance. The third wicket falls, Alpha Quashers 31 for 3. Masaoka to continue his second over. It's been a mixed bag. We've seen wides, wickets, boundaries and a dot. This occasion it's a single. Just bowling at a slow pace, having the batsman to try and create the pace off the ball. The one wicket to Masaoka, third. 1 for 14, his figures after his 2. Umar, the new batsman for the Alpha Quashers, will be looking to form a partnership alongside Krishnan, who's looked pretty good for his 13. Kakeru Ibisui will continue. His excellent spell so far. It's 2 overs, just going for the 6 runs. The bowlers for the Wyverns have done a pretty good job bowling to their field. Wakuta, Ebisui, Kubota, they've all bowled pretty good lines, as I say, bowling to their field settings. Cuts down into the turf and it'll just spill out to point, gully, and another dot ball. They've bowled plenty of dot balls, have the Wyverns Cricket Club. Alpha Quashers almost hamstrung from the loss of opportunity. This time it goes onto the back foot, cuts well, but there's a deep point sweeping that position, and it's just a 1 run to the Alpha Quashers Yokohama club. Just dabbed onto the onside behind square. Deep square will come in to keep it just to a single. 34 for 3. Well, the 3-wicket column is looking okay at this stage of the game. It's the 35 runs that's of concern. Just not enough. You're not going to win by scoring 80 to 100 runs. They need to get it up above that. Nine overs gone, 36 for 3. Can Alpha Quashers just make something of this partnership, build it, give the team some sort of foundation, perhaps bat together for the next 3 to 5 overs, try and get up around 70, 80 runs, and then perhaps a bit of an assault at the end. Try and push the score up to 110, 120, something the bowlers can bowl at and look to defend. Sometimes small scores can be tricky to chase, but when they're as small as 70 or 80, it's not going to be enough against this batting lineup from the Wyverns club. Rahil Khanal will have the next over. He's bowling from the Sano end. I believe perhaps a new employee of Japan Cricket Association. If so, congratulations to him. I'm not sure if that's official or not, but Rahil, being a previous national team member, has played a lot of cricket here in Japan, knows the landscape well. He'll come on, look to bowler's leg spin, and try and snare a wicket or two. Getting turned and played straight to point, so no run taken. Kano will want to just bring that line in a bit tighter, perhaps pitching around Milanoff. He tries his variation ball, that one, the wrong one, on what was pretty good line. Perhaps the rather annoying sound of the leaf blower in the background. They're just doing some gardening work next to us. Again, the variation. Just doing a bit of gardening work in what is probably about 38, 37 degree heat, especially with what the gardener's wearing. Long sleeved, long pants. He's got to be hot. As are the players out here in the middle, especially those with the helmets and pads on. Played back to Rahul Kano, fielding his own delivery. And one ball remaining. It's been a pretty good one thus far. How does he finish it? Oh, drags it down and pounced on by the batsman. It only cost one run as Wyverns have good fielding placement out there. Deep point, deep cover point perhaps. End of the over, 40 for 3, 10 overs done. So in terms of the players' welfare, umpires will take a compulsory break. 2 minutes, an opportunity for players to take on board some hydration. We will join you again in around 90 seconds' time. So continuing on where we left off, 10 overs done here. Alpha Quashers currently 40 for 3. I want to raise that run rate, and well, it's a pretty good start. Turns around the corner, just another single though. The majority of dot balls was too high in the first 10 overs. They'll be looking to reduce that, try and capitalise more on the balls, 60 balls remaining. Masolka, the left armour, coming around the wicket to the right-hander. Chance, he's skied it, but it might clear the inner circle. And caught, wonderful catch. That looks like Kohei Kubota. He would have been stationed at deep square. So he's come in off the boundary rope, probably made 20 metres to take that catch. Let's see if they... Unfortunately, our cameraman just got the end of it. But a good catch taken from Kohei Kubota. Fourth wicket down now for the Alpha Quashers. Not a great start for them after the innings break. So a win here today for the Wyverns Cricket Club would take them top of the table. They'd go past Sano. They'd be leading by 2 points. Sano would have a game in hand, but it would clarify that they would be through to the second round. Turned over square leg, and deep square will come in to retrieve it, so no opportunity for a catch. Two relatively new batsmen at the crease for the Alpha Quashers, and this has been slapped fine. Has a lot of work to do, this deep square. Probably has to run again, another 15-20 metres to cut that off. Does so. 2 runs, one of the few twos run by the Alpha Quashers so far in this innings. Played straight, back past the bowler. Long off will clean it up, but another single taken. Over called, 11 done. 46 for 4 on a hot Sunday afternoon here in Sano. Raheel Kano will continue from the school end. Puts that on a good line and length. Batsman can only but defend. This time guides it down to short third man, but no run there. Haru Masami has only been out here for a couple of balls. That's his second ball. Just getting used to the wicket and the bounce. These two really need to go about rebuilding their innings for the Alpha Quashers. They are lagging behind. Comes down the wicket and quickly gets across. It would have been deemed wide, but just to be sure, he plays it anyway. Another dot, 3 dots. And just a conversation here between the two umpires. And it looks like it was perhaps deemed a dead ball. Mumtaz Alam would be the umpire at this end, alongside Chris Thurgate, both doing a wonderful job in extreme heat, tiring conditions. As soon as the match is done, hopefully they're back in the tea room in that nice cool centre overlooking the ground. Slapped out onto the offside. Cover will come round in the form of Kubota. "12 overs done, 46. The run rate has actually dropped below 4. And really, Alpha Quashers, if they're going to win this, they've got to aim for 100 plus. It's not going to be enough if they're under that. So 6 wickets in the shed, 8 overs remaining. Bit of work to do here for Raheel Kano. Lovely throw back into the stumps. Remembering it's Hashimoto Soto with the gloves on today, not the usual Miyauchi. He's in the outfield. He'll be loving it in the outfield, I imagine. He's got a bullet arm from his background in baseball, so perhaps that's why Alpha Quashers has just been a bit cautious. They have a lot of good fielders to the Wyverns Cricket Club. I see another arm and example today, demonstration. Nice return throw. Masaoka. This will be his final over. Looking to push for 2. Cries from the tent, but, well, in the middle they're not interested. The heat would be energy sapping out there in the middle. It would feel like around 40, even though the temperature is probably 36, 35, 36. He's just saying, not easy to play Masaoka. The ball just getting over your eye line height and just dropping. This time he goes after him, inside edge, onto the stumps, out bowled. Masaoka takes his third. He's got 3 for 19. See here, goes to play a crossbat shot, trying to pull it on to the onside, gets an inside edge, takes out leg, and the third wicket falls. The misery continues for the Alpha Quashers Yokohama club. Looks to be Meg Ogawa delivering a drink there to the wicketkeeper. Of course, she also plays for the Wyverns Cricket Club. Oh, you wouldn't know it from looking at that picture, but it's 37 degrees and humid, tiring, tough conditions for all the players out there in the middle. Also looks to be very little in the way of the breeze. Raheel Kano to continue. Really have the screws on the Alpha Quashers, who are just struggling. 50 for 5 now. The run rate still just hovering around that 4 mark. Off the back foot, plays out to the cover region, and lost perhaps a few players this season. Aditya Fadki, of course, he's, I believe, in India at university, but a very strong batsman for the club. And it hurts sometimes when you lose such a player. They're struggling in the 40 over format as well, the Alpha Quashers. And another loss here, well, just perhaps clarify that they won't make it through to the second round. 3 losses with a 4th and final game coming up won't be enough for them. Well, last weekend they're all out for 55. They will go past that score today, up to 53 now. 14th over. Can they push hard and get the score up to perhaps around 90? I can't see them hitting the 100 figure, but who knows? It's going to take a mighty effort from perhaps 2 or 3 of their batsmen just to come in. Right, just a bit of a delay. Getting a helmet. Ibasui coming back into the action. He's been clonked out to deep cover. Another 2 taken from the Alpha Quashers. How do they finish this game? Can they finish with a bit of an impetus? Perhaps Umar can continue from where he is at the moment. Just try and increase that strike rate, get it up to 100, 150. This time he just plays out in the covers. Well, he's certainly shown some of his teammates just how to accumulate runs. He moves to 14 now. 15, sorry. Kandasamy. Can he stick around with his partner for 2 or 3 overs before the final assault? Maybe not. He's gone out to long off and he's been caught. He'll have to return to the 10, and it looks to be Wataru Miyauchi under the ball. Never in doubt, and it's simple catch for him and his standards. 6th wicket falls here. The Alpha Quashers really struggling at 57 for 6. Umar on strike for his team and just plays this easily for a single. Umar being joined by Palanasamy, having just faced the 1 ball, got through for a leg by. Can these two do something for their team? Really struggling, 59 for 6. Final ball of the 15th over. And it's been swatted. Is it far enough? Yes, it is. It's 6 runs. And that is something that the Alpha Quashers certainly could do with. Palanasamy, he's only been there for 2 balls, but his second ball, he took a nice piece of Ebisui and just carted him for a good 6. Score is now up to 65 after creeping along for so long. Can Palanasamy be the hero, finish well for the team? Just coming down the wicket to Kano is Umar, looking to be aggressive, realising just another 29 balls remain. This time guides it down to short third man. Hitting across the line and hitting well enough for 6 runs. The outfielder was in with a chance there, and then going at it with his left mitt, but the ball hit with some conviction, and well, Alanisami, since he's come in, he's added to the fireworks. There's been no fireworks up until he walked in. Alpha Quashers just creeping along most of the time, under 3 runs and over, 4 runs and over. Already Palasami's got the score now, the current run rate up to 4.5. Can he continue? Umar this time on strike. Gives it the same treatment and gives it plenty. 6. This is way better from the Alpha Quashers. Kano's first 3 overs going for only 12 runs. This over's different. Just the mindset of these two being a lot more aggressive than the previous batsman. Perhaps a bit of a point to prove to the top order. 79 for 6 now. Suddenly that 100 target looks within sight, thanks to these two. Cuts, and Point does well to retrieve the ball, so it'll be just single. It's a really good over for the Alpha Quashers. 15 runs off it. The best since they've begun. The last 2 overs for the Alpha Quashers going for 15 runs and 11 runs. Previous to that, the best was 5, and there were plenty of those scores of 5, 4, 3. Just hasn't been enough for the team. These two giving the total a real boost. Umar 25 of 27, and Palasami has 13 runs of just 4 balls. 4 overs remain. Jorge Kubota back into the attack. He's got 2 overs to bowl. Bangs it in, but just using soft hands. Umar rotates the strike. This will be a real key battle up here. Kubota with his pace, Palanasami with his power and aggression. Expect to see something happen over the next couple of balls between these two. Just a change in field. Goes up high. Deep square leg will be coming in, but it falls well before him. Palanasami disappointed he didn't get a hold of that. Would have gone a long way with the pace of Kubota. In the end, He skies it, falls safely over inside of the square leg. This is the second match up against Umar, and he prefers just to use soft hands, guide it for a single and rotate the strike. Probably aware of the threat that Palanasami offers, aiming to get him on strike as much as possible for these remaining 4 overs. 83 for 6, Alpha Quashers, Yokohama. Can they get up to that 3-digit figure of 100? Can they push beyond that? Oh, it's a short ball, and he's signalling he's okay, but I feel Chris Thurgate and will just come and check, do a concussion check, just follow the protocols that have been set out in Japan cricket. The helmet has to come off first. Often players will just say, I'm fine, keep the helmet on, but it's a rule that it comes off, and a couple of questions are asked and answered. Umpires seem happy enough for the batsman to continue. This water has also been turned down from the batsman. Seems to be caught on the side of the grill, and Kubota, being the gentleman he is, just apologising. Not that he needed to, just making sure that he's just happy that batsman is okay. Comes in again, 2 balls remaining. It's been spooned up, but it'll fall safe. There's a lot of room out there. They should push for 2. And they only make the 1. I just have to check the score as my eyes were on the ball and the fielder retrieving it. Surely there is 2 runs taken. Perhaps not. Yeah, just the 1 taken. Missed opportunities from Alpha Quashers and picking up extra runs, pushing hard for the first and just being clear and concise with your calling. 3 overs done for Kohei Kubota. No wicket for 13. 17 gone. 85 for 6. Wakuta back into the action. Bowled a wonderful 2 overs at the top. Just going for 3 runs and taking the first wicket. And clouted over mid-wicket for the maximum 6 runs. It's a great shot from Umar. Have a look at that. JCA replay. Gets into position, clears the front leg, and just wallops it out over the stand. Perhaps call it number 3 stand here at the Sano International Cricket Ground. 7 off the first 2 balls. 100 target within sight, possibly the 18th over. This time, helps it on its side, perhaps gloved it. And this time it's been driven, hasn't quite timed it. Usually quickly around from mid-off, scooping the ball up and hurling it back in. Nine off the over with 2 remaining. Valuable runs here for the Alpha Quashers team. This could be caught square coming round and unable to get round in time. So another single to the total. 1 ball remains in the 18th over. Comes down the wicket, reaches for it. It's actually been called wide. Perhaps on height. Another ball to be bowled from the Wyverns Cricket Club. Wakicha bangs it in short again, but is punished. And that's a wonderful shot. Just getting on the tips of its toes was Umar. It was a short delivery, and he had to go, as I say, go onto the tips of his toes, but he just clouted this. Good and proper, wonderful shot. Can't have been too far short of that boundary rope for the maximum, but 4 runs nonetheless, and it brings up the 100. 6 wickets down to get there, but finally the 100 comes up, as well as that current run rate now up to 5.5. Where were these two early on in the innings? Alpha Quashers, Yokohama were just limping along. When these two came together, things changed. Palanasamy, I think his first 3 shots he'd hit 2 boundaries. Both of them have been a real thorn in the side for the Wyverns Cricket Club. 12 balls remain. How much more damage can they do? Kubota, his final over of his spell. Played, gets the underside of the bat. Scampering through for a single. These two came together when the Quashes were 57 for 6, so it just shows you they aren't far short of putting on that 50 partnership. They came together just in the 14th. Halfway through the 14th over, he's hit straight and long for another boundary 4. And this is a great finish from these two. Coming together halfway through the 14th over. They've barely had 4 overs together, and they've added just short of 50 runs. So, what a comeback here from the Alpha Quashers, finishing off in style. At least gives them an opportunity to bowl something, try and defend a score. Who knows where it will finish up, probably around the 120 mark. Driven over the covers, but there is deep cover out there sweeping that offside field. Expected to cut anything off almost from mid-off to backward point. Big area to cover, big responsibility. Usually you put someone out there who is quick, efficient at picking the ball up and has a good strong arm. Big swing, no ding, a huge appeal from the keeper. May have heard something on the way through. Could have been anything really. The finger stays down. Palanisamy continues his onslaught. 23 off 12 balls now. Can he continue his flurry of runs? Goes high. Don't know if it's going to reach. It does. It's a huge six. Didn't see where it pitched, but it was around the map background, the nets in the background. I believe it took the top of the netting there. Wonderful shot. Fielder can only just watch that sail over his head, and brings up the end of the 19th over. 112 now, Alpha Quashers. 6 balls remain. Wide ball. Bowling his final over, bowling at the death here for his team. He's jogging back to the mark. Almost feels guilty of the mistake, so wanting to get back, make up for it with the second delivery. This one, he's been carted. That'll go for 4. It's a good shot. And Alpha Quashers just really finishing off this innings well. Looking at their worm chart, didn't get above 4 until these two came together. Runs per over. And since then, well, they've got it above 6, so they've lifted the run rate. The 50 partnership, 50 plus, 60 plus partnership between these two really has given them hope. At least going to make a game of it. This one off the pad, so no run afforded to Umar, but he sits on 43. His partner, Palanisamy, he's there on 29, just off 13 balls. So going over 200 strike rate. What a performance from these two. Oh, it's picked up beautifully. That'll travel onto ground too. 6, huge 6. Wakuta just strained with his line here. Often batsmen are unable to catch up with wide balls down leg because of the pace, but Palanisamy's just timed that perfectly. Maximum 6, and this is really starting to hurt the Wyverns club. Back in the 14th over, they were looking at chasing a score of around 90 or 100. It's now looking like 130. Chance here for the club. Comes in deep mid-wicket and holds onto it safely. Looks to be Rahil Kano in the floppy hat. Trustworthy hands, and the 7th wicket falls, but not before the damage has been done. Palanisamy, 35 runs coming from just 15 balls. 2 balls still remain in the over, and currently the Alpha Quashers 124 for 7. Looking at local time 3:29, the Alpha Quashers have bowled the Wyverns Cricket Club have bowled their overs within the expected time limit. Expectation of it being bowled within 90 minutes. Well, they're on just 2 deliveries to go. Wakuta coming in. This may delay the time a bit. Another wide. His 2nd of the over. Again, sprinting back to his run-up. Dongre, the new batsman for the Alpha Quashers. Ideally, he just looks for a single and asks Umar to finish it. No, he doesn't. He's gone big and long and dropped. Dropped in the outfield. Fielder did everything he did to get in position. Looked like he was going to take it comfortably, but the final few seconds, the final few milliseconds, the ball goes onto the turf. It'll go down as 1 run, 1 ball remaining of the Alpha Quashers innings. This is it. Wakuta in against Umar, who goes hard at it. They'll push hard. Boundary fielder having to come in and field it. They'll come back for a second. They'll take the bails off, and it will go down in the book as run out. Umar run out, 44 runs, coming back for his 45th. Caught short. And this will bring up the end of the Alpha Quashers innings. After limping along for the first 14 overs, they finished with a flurry of runs. No thanks to batsman Mohammad Umar and Vignesh Palanisamy. Palanisamy's 35 and Umar's 44 runs. Both going at healthy strike rates, especially Vignesh. He was batting at a strike rate at 233. Their runs super important in the context of the game. It looked to be all Wyverns for the first 14 overs, but they've given themselves a chance. The bowling credits probably go to Masaoka, 3 for 22 off his 4, and Yusuke Wakuta at the top, 2 wickets going for 31 runs. The teams will have a 10-minute break. Do join us in around 9 minutes' time for the chase. If you're interested in following Japan cricket, do follow along any of the social media platforms or via fan code in the Indian subcontinent. Finally, there is the YouTube channel. Please subscribe for all the content coming up. Do join us for the chase. The Wyverns 128 will see them victorious and will go to the top of Table B. So welcome back to Sano. The chase for the Wyvern Cricket Club. 128 for victory. We'll see them go top of table B in this T20 format. Subpar total really, the Alpha Quashers. We saw a game earlier today, 150 not being enough. Will it be enough for the Alpha Quashers Yokohama team? They'll have to start well and they will need to take wickets at regular intervals. Dongre, the new bowler, the opening bowler, and we also already see an example of the running between the wickets, the excellent running between the wickets from Wyverns Cricket Club. Wakata and Iwasaki, the opening bats. Goes again and doesn't get all of it. So again, they will push hard for 2 runs. Won't take it. So victory in that department. Then this time goes to the Alpha Quashers, getting off the boundary quickly. Probably aware of how often Wyverns Cricket Club can pick up, sneak, steal singles and 2s. It's a part of their game. It's a strength of their game. Longrad just exhibiting his ability to swing the ball, that last delivery. Maybe wanting to be on that line again, perhaps just a little fuller. There we go, it's a great delivery. Real challenge for Iwasaki, playing such a ball. Sometimes you just got to give credit to the bowler and look for the next delivery. Turned behind square. That would just be the 1 run. Final delivery coming up. Not a bad start from the Alpha Quashers, but as I say, the score of 128, they really will need to go into the Wyvern closet deep. They'll need to have them 7-8 down, perhaps bowl them out, or at least try and exert a lot of pressure on the later order. That's 4 runs, 4 unintended runs really. Looking, you'll see here on the replay, looking to be aggressive, but he's looking to sort of pull it out to long on. Instead, gets an inside edge and it just flies away to perhaps the shortest part of the boundary on the field here at Sano. It overlaps with field 2. It's a boundary from that end, maybe around 45, just under 50 metres. As I say, Wyverns Cricket Club, if they win today, then they will go top of the points table in Group B. They will go ahead of Sano. Sano would be on the maximum number of points, but they were penalised last week for an indiscretion. field, I believe, a difference of shirt numbers. They're not the only team that have been penalised. So have the Rising Stars, Tokyo Titans, Chiba Sharks, and the Tokyo Wombats. Back live. And an appeal given, gone. Must have got something on it. The finger goes up, and Ganesh strikes straight away his first delivery. It's a replay here. It's a wide one. And the finger went up pretty quickly. Obviously, Chris Thurgate heard a noise as it travelled past the bat. Alpha Quashers will be thrilled. If they're to win this game, they certainly need to take wickets. Perhaps not for the full 10, but perhaps they need to get at least 6 or 7 down, get into the inexperience of the Wyverns latter order. I believe they were without one of their key batsmen, Shogo Kimura. I just have to check that on my list, but yeah, he's not on the team sheet. Shogo, very strong bat for this Wyverns club. Rahul Kano also, of course. Narayan Yakara, he can certainly hit a long ball and be devastating. Miyauchi also, who we see in at number 3, a real key in terms of contributing runs, I guess, for the team. He had a very good season last season. Miyauchi, I believe he hit 500 runs, I think, around that figure in the 40 over format. Wide ball. Jai Ganesh bowling from the mountain end in hot conditions. It's coming up 4 o'clock local time, but it is still very hot out there. You'll see the shadows start to be cast a bit longer. Full, but Miyauchi gets across to it and he just whacks it out onto the offside. Really interesting to watch Miyauchi's innings today. He's just recently returned from Sri Lanka. A couple of Japanese cricket players were offered the opportunity to go alongside and train alongside and perhaps play, not sure of any matches or any warm-up fixtures, but just training alongside the superstars of Sri Lankan cricket. Also a few imports from around the world. Driven long over mid-on's head and driven for 4 runs. It's a good shot from Wakuta. He's an all-rounder. Bowls as well as bats. It's a great shot. That'll feel good. His confidence will build from that shot, that execution. Pleasing to see for his teammates too. 15 for 1. They've made this time it's driven out to mid-off. It was aerial. So the fielders were interested for a moment. Certainly in stark contrast to how the Alpha Quashers started the game. They were creeping along. As I say, for about the first 14 overs already, we see the aggression or the intent from the Wyverns club get well above that run rate. Driven but fielded by the bowler, and a half thought to throw down the stumps at the other end. 2 overs gone, 16 for 1. starts and it's wide. The first delivery of the over. Yeah, Wyverns on 16 runs already off 2 overs. Well, it didn't start that way for the Alpha Quashers. The first day they were 2, then they were 4, then they were 6, then they were 10. So, gone, bowled him. Continues the aggression. Does Wakata this time, looking to hit across the line, trying to open up that mid-wicket square region. But he's been bowled, cleaned up, off stump. Has been disturbed, and Dongre, his first wicket, 1 for 9, his figures now off his first 7 deliveries. But a great start for the club. For Quashes, doing really well to get through to 128 in the end. It was the last 5.5 overs that got them there. For the first 14 overs, they were looking to head to a score of around 80 runs. So, starting well here. 2 wickets already, 2 overs. Miyauchi will no doubt just play an anchor role, a small target, suit his game. Very much a placement player and a very busy player, very quick player. So he just needs a partnership. And at the moment, it's the experience of Rahil Kano. 2 of the more experienced players for this Wyverns outfit, and a key part of their strategy and plan to win the game, or this 2 establishing a partnership. Quick single taken. Miyauchi just carts it over mid-wicket, and he does so with confidence. It's a good 4 runs. It's a wonderful shot. See, perfectly poised. Has a small step pre-delivery, but hits just from a firm base. As I say, it'll be really interesting to watch Miyauchi's innings today. Him alongside Ibi Takahashi, having spent almost a month in Sri Lanka. See what's always skied it. Be a chance, this one. It's been called for and put down, and may creep across the boundary. No, it does. 4 runs, but you can see the disappointment in Miyauchi's body language. He just didn't quite get a hold of that. Got big on him, top edge, flew up high. It was a difficult catch. We had 2 fielders converging on it. In the end, it was left to deep mid-wicket, who came in and in the end spilled the catch. Miyauchi dropped on 9. They didn't take the run, hence he didn't take the time to cross, so perhaps a missed opportunity for an extra run. 3 overs done, 26 for 2. The run rate's healthy. The wicket column, well, they won't want to add to it. The power play just 3 overs away from finishing. Turn onto the onside for Miyuchi. They'll skip through for a comfortable single. A lot of experience between these two, Rahul Kano and Wataru Miyuchi. I'm sure Kano's been captain at times, or if not in the past, for the club. Currently, Miyuchi is captain. A lot of experience and knowledge between the two. They'll be assessing this situation. Mid wickets in there, relatively short, just out off your screen, but probably around 10 metres from the bat, so no run available then for Kano. 4 overs done, 28 for 2. Currently, Wyverns well above the run rate in terms of they're looking at the worm chart. Took 13 overs really for the Alpha Quashers to start going up, but boy did it skyrocket in that moment. A play and a miss, half appeal. Sure, Wataru would admit he was in two minds there on that shot, whether to go forward or back. Dongrab, this is third over. It is punched over point. A deep backward point will restrict the boundary. 2 runs taken. A lot of support coming from the 10. Wyverns just realising how close this match could be. Can be tricky, these low scores. They've started well in terms of run rate, and well, a little fortunate here. Mistimes it. Ball beats the keeper as well as the slip, so byes will be awarded. So ruled off the bat, so a single given. Play and a miss from Rahul Kano. Good delivery from Dongrab. Played gently off the back foot out to deep backward point. Picks up another single. They can do it in singles really, the Wyverns Cricket Club. When they started out the game, it's just over 6. They're above that run rate required, so Miyuchi uses his quick hand speed. Executes a good shot, but straight to cover field there, so no run taken. Into the over, 5 gone, 32 for 2. So, nice shot for some nice fielding as well. Comes down the wicket. There's Rahil Kano. Misses out, but with the keeper standing back, there's no chance of a stumping. Final 3 balls of the power play. Clipped off the pads, straight to mid-wicket, so no run taken. This being the final over of the power play has actually been well bowled thus far from the Alpha Quashers. Just the 2 runs coming from it. And Wyverns you can just feel the pressure. A bit of a game swinging back the way of Alpha Quashers. Just continuing to bring that run rate down, and that is over, and a very good one at that. The 6th and final over of the power play. Harumala Sami has just gone for 2 runs. 34 for 2, 6 overs done. Yashwar looks to be the new bowler. Still ahead on the worm graph, the Wyverns Cricket Club, but just pulling it back are the Alpha Quashers. Wyverns still favoured to take this out, but the Alpha Quashers finished with a hiss and a roar. If they continue to take wickets, they will definitely exert pressure on the Wyverns club to chase down this subpar total, 128 for victory. Par score around 150. And just being quite cautious. Mayuchi, he knows how important his wicket is, along with Kano. These 2 really do need to guide the team home. So he's just taking a bit more time, perhaps been more cautious, realising the responsibilities theirs. Driven for his easy single down to long on. Off the back foot, driven out to point. It's been a slight error. This call is no. Such an important position, fielding at point. Often your best fielder is in that position, unless he's got a bullet arm and is stationed on the boundary. Driven between the fielders here. Kano and Miyuchi again thinking about a second, not taking it. It's good awareness of the Quashers. They know how quick these 2 can be between the wickets. Just trying to get in off the boundary rope a lot quicker. Driven for 4 runs. It's a lovely shot. And it just a classic shot, really. Covered drive. We'll see the replay here. Biswa bowls it up, plenty of flight. Steps out into the line of the ball to Miyauchi and just clobbers it. It's a wonderful 4. Biswa maybe a bit quicker at this delivery. This time off the back foot, calls early to Miyauchi. And perhaps the pressure on the fielder results in the error made. And singles taken. End of the over, 41 for 2, 7 overs gone. Driven out to mid-wicket. Just a single taken from Miyauchi. Of course, part of the current Japanese national team. I'm sure his name will be called upon to travel to South Korea later in the year for the upcoming ICC World Cup qualifier. His partner Kano, having done that in yesteryear, he would have played a fair number of games for Japan. As I say, the experience of these two out there, while they remain, the game will fall in their favour. Alpha Quashers would dearly love both these wickets and try and put pressure on the middle to later order of the Wyverns club. It's their best chance of winning this game. Tonked and caught. Probably 3 metres inside the boundary. Didn't get all of it. And it's Miyauchi, has to depart. It was a low full toss. He went for the stroke, and in fact it was probably less than that. It was about a metre from the boundary line. Just didn't carry far enough, and a key wicket, a big wicket for the Alpha Quashers. Miyauchi will have to depart. There's 21 coming from just 20 balls. Masami will continue this successful over. There's 2 runs coming from it and the wicket, 1 ball remaining. Ono, the new batsman. Takuya Ono, the left-hander. And it's a good delivery to the left-hander. Looks like he's another strong onside player. 8 overs done, 43 for 3. Wyverns Cricket Club in search of victory and going to the top of the table. Target for them, 128 runs. Kano, now the experienced head that will look to lead his team to victory. 12 overs remaining. They have to go at 7 runs and over, so that's lifted. Goes to lap it, gets it, but not all of it, so they have to run it up. It is stopped inside the boundary. Is Kano good enough to come back? No, just a 2 taken in the end, so... A little bit of drift here for Yashwa. Be looking to get a little bit tighter though in on Rahil Kano. Driven to cover, extra cover on there, short cover. Another dot ball. This is really good from Yashwa. Again, this time it's Point who saves the run, end of the over. A really good one for the Alpha Quashers. They're back in this match. They didn't post enough runs, 128, but through taking 3 wickets and also only going at 5 runs and over, they are in this match. It is in the balance. 11 overs remain. Ono swings a wide one, doesn't make connection. Palanasamy Again, wide one this time. Ono goes after it. Cracks it out to deep point. Gets through for a single. He's off the mark. It'll feel a lot better. Left armer comes in on a bit of an angle. Just takes the pace off this one. Driven now to long off for another single. Game somewhat in the balance. You feel the next shift, be it a couple of boundaries or a wicket, will really put pressure upon the opposite team. Wyverns are just slowly losing the impetus to score runs. They started with a hiss and a roar, 18 from the first 2 overs. They've been constantly ahead of the runs scored by Alpha Quashers at the same period, but it's about to change. It's the 10 over break, 48 for 3. We'll take a break of around 2 minutes and be back with you then. Welcome back for the final quarter of this match. The final 10 overs, players have having had a welfare break in terms of the heat and humidity at Sano at present. We'll just add a 2-minute, perhaps 3-minute rest, chance to take on some liquids. We're back, continuing, set up for an interesting final 10 overs. 80 runs needed, 10 overs to do it in. That's exactly 8 per over. And stretches for it. Tizono doesn't execute the shot as well as he had liked, nor the direction. Kano, he'll want to get going from his score. 9 off 24. He realises it's time for him just to up the rate. Try and bring it back to at least a run a ball. Guide his team through to victory. A low score, a subpar score. Big appeal from behind the stumps, not given. This time they're picking up a single. Perhaps they'll think about a second. Not taken. Happy with the single. Rahul Kano comes back on strike. To have batting to come. Nana Yakara, of course, big hitting player, plenty of power and muscle. He can certainly change the game in an over or so. The single picked up from the Wyverns. But really, just the two off it, not good enough. They need to find a way to up the run rate. We've talked about it. If Wyverns do get the victory here, they will go top of the table on 12 points ahead of Sano on 10. Sano do have one more game in hand, whereas the Wyverns will finish their scheduled round robin matches. They will go through to the quarterfinal stage. Even if they lose here, the Wyverns will have enough points to go through the second round. It would just be a different position. If they finish first, then it is fourth. One would play 8, two play 7, and so on. Kandasamy into the attack, his first over from the mountain end. Seems keen, energetic, keen to get into this. Would love to take a wicket for his club. It's such an important part of the game. Could do so. He's skied it, Kano, and it's going to fall short. That's what's going to save him. It just doesn't carry out to long on. Came screaming in. Just seems to lose a bit of his shape, Kano, in that stroke. Certainly didn't get out of the screws as well as he'd liked. Both players, their strike rates below what would be expected, at least going perhaps just below a runner ball, around 80 or 90 strike rate, but it's below that. Kano's going at around 40 and Ono, it's under 30. Not enough. Needs to look for runs here and drives relatively straight. Long off comes in to reclaim the ball, so another single picked up. Kano drives straight. It's a good straight drive, but long on is in a relatively straight position there, so he doesn't have far to travel to reclaim the ball. Perhaps these players just think about a more softer touch, not hitting it so well to the boundary right of it, instead playing it ideally halfway and being able to get back for a second run rather than just getting a single. Case in point there. Especially the square boundary sides. They seem to be 60, perhaps 65 metres. The groundsman certainly can inform me next time we meet. It's gone straight, Kano, and he hasn't moved an inch because he knows how well he's hit it. 4 runs, didn't move an inch, and that was a lot more convincing than a shot he previously played in aggression. Hits dead straight and beautifully positioned and beautifully executed. Can he catch up on that strike rate of his? Just from that shot, he goes above 50 now. Oh no, still sitting around just under 40, but it's not everything. It's in context of the game. The team needs another 70 runs. They've got 8 overs to do it. They need to find at least one boundary per over. Pushed and turned down from partner Kano. Yashwa, his final over of his spell, comes down and almost deflects the ball back onto the stumps. A little bit of indecision as to whether they try and cheekily steal a run there, but wisely turned down in the end. Didn't spill far from Fishwa's fingers. Hit solidly from Ono. This time he hits onto the onside, calls his partner through for a single. Cut straight to point, so no run. Cut so well, so crisply. It was in the point fielder's hands within a second, so no opportunity. Another good overbuilding here for the Quashes. Just a one off it so far. And again, pressure to steal a single. Run rate required building up to 9.5 now. Wyverns searching for a boundary. Single brings up the end of the over. 61 for 3. 13 overs gone to 7 remain here. 67 runs needed off those 7 overs, so run rate steadily climbing. The previous overs have just gone for 3, 8 and 2. A 3 and a 2 before that, so that is slipping behind the Wyverns Cricket Club. They need a batter to come in and just strike a quick 20 off 8 to 10 balls. To put that run rate back on track. At the moment it's becoming unmanageable. It's a fair crack of the ball, that one, and Ono finds the boundary. A maximum crisp shot. Comes down the wicket to build a bit of momentum into the shot. Re-steadies himself and swings the bat, throw it down on one knee. What a clever shot. Could this be the over for the Wyverns? Can they get a big 14, 15 runs out of it? They've started pretty well with the 6. Takuya Ono. This one's been hurried through a lot quicker from Kandasamy. wise cricketer, just realising I'll just change up the pace, hurry it through, keep it low, not allow the batsman to get under it. Kano, 17 of 31. Punches it off the back foot. But the cover deep fielder out there, the cover sweeper, again just limits it to 1 run. Brings Zono back on strike. He's looking to go leg side most definitely. Kandasamy will be aware of this. He'll try and push the ball out to the keeper's gloves. As he does then. An appeal for a feather into the gloves, not given. Two balls remain in the over, 8 off it so far. Can they capitalise the Wyverns? Pulls strongly and pulls for 4 runs. Wonderful shot, and a shot keeping the Wyvern Cricket Club highly entertained in the 10, and also given hope that they can actually chase this down. "12 runs off the over with 1 ball remaining." Very open stance from Takeono. And changes it up though, and will be caught in the deep, not on the boundary rope, but caught out deep cover. Just having a look at the replay. Bowlers bowling deliberately wide of off stump, and it's just a lot harder to create power, therefore not. He falls for the trap, aims to hit over that region, and is caught in the deep. 4 wickets down now, Wyvern Cricket Club, 73 for 4. Nana Yakara is at the wicket, the new batsman, and he is an excitement machine. He can certainly pump a ball a long way. He could be just what the doctor ordered for the Wyverns Club. He can come in and get a quick 20, 25 of, say, 10, 15 balls. He's going to change his game immensely and put it in favour of his club. Easier said than done. He'll join his partner Kano, who's somewhat struggling. He'll appreciate the one down leg side for a wide. Another ball to be bowled and another run to the total. hit straight back to the bowler and almost takes out Mumtaz Ahmed as the umpire having to backtrack quickly. Hit hard and strong at the bowler. He manages to get his hands up in front of his face, but the flex off them misses umpire and stumps. Brings Nana Yakara on strike. Shanta certainly can hit a long ball. Looks like the bowler doesn't really want to bowl to him. He's just perhaps checking on a few last positional changes. Short, turn around the corner, and I'd say turn for 4 runs. It's a wonderful way to get off the mark. Nana Yakara, as I say, can be a real threat and thorn in the side for teams. They can be looked done and dusted, the Wyverns club, and he'll come out and hit quick 30 or 40 off a small number of deliveries. So, real key wicket this one for Alpha Quashers. If they can take his wicket cheaply, take Kano's, they'll feel they'll have this match won. Game in the balance. Walloped, bump ball, so no cry of catch. Dongra into his final 3 deliveries. Skied, hasn't got all of it, and it'll fall short of long off. Shows you the intent though of Nana Yakara. He'll just come in. Shanta will just aim to hit long, hit big. Kano, on the other hand, perhaps a different style of cricket. Driving just for a single. Brings his big hitter back on strike. Says over to you. Get us a couple, 2 or 3 out of the middle, and we're right in this game. Just defended, and that'll bring up the end of the over. 15 done, 81 for 4. Wyverns looking for some inspiration here. Run rate required, still below 10, it's on 9. You can happily go into the last over, giving yourself a chance to chase down that. Will we see the foot on the accelerator before that, however? Wyverns 4 wickets down. Not sure who would come in next for the team, but certainly these two would ideally steer them home, at least for the next 3 overs. Give them a good chance to chase this victory down. One that will take them to the top of the table. If Alpha Quashers win it, well, they'll go to 4 points, which will have them sitting 3rd equal, but perhaps within a chance of therefore qualifying for the next round. They also have a game following this one, so both teams looking to advance to round 2, the quarterfinal stage. Comes down the wicket, punches it, doesn't get all of it, and long off will comfortably take it. Another wicket falls. The Wyverns 5 down now. It's half the shed. And, well, Kano deciding just to come down the wicket, try and muscle this over the shorter boundary. Doesn't get it out of the screws and pays the ultimate price. Kano departs for 20 runs, coming from 36 balls. The Wyverns 81 for 5. Single taken, and dangerous single taken. And the background noise there, it is not Mr. Whippy. It is the 5 o'clock signal, the end of the school day, perhaps for staff to return home. The international cricket ground here at Sano was previously Tanama High School, hence the sound of the bell at 5 p.m. and 12 midday. Rather than using his power and muscle, it's just guided with a deft touch down fine. Fine leg will have to come round to field it. Has to come a good 30 metres to retrieve it. 2 picked up, and it looks like a decision to perhaps stay in at short third man. Goes straight, long, and long enough. Nanayakara plays a wonderful 6 maximum shot for his team. They'll shoot up to 90, and with it, hopes of chasing down this target today. Talked about the danger of this man and his aggressive batting style and hitting ability. Can hit a long, long ball. You don't really want to toss it up in the slot without turn or movement. An appeal and not given, but end of the over, 9 coming off it, so keeping within the rate being asked at the moment, the Wyverns. This could come down to the last over needing around 9-10 runs. It's going to be a good contest, a good finish. This is why players play the game, to feel the pressure. A game of where mere inches can decide victor. The new batsman alongside Nanayakara is Ryoya Masaoka. He's having faced the 1 ball for his 1 run. I think the idea would be to try and get his partner on strike. Ideally, Wyverns would just want to push this game as deep as possible. They have 5 wickets in hand. There's no use panicking now, feeling they need to go for every ball, needing to go for a boundary. They can take their time. Still 24 balls to be bowled. With that will come the pressure, placed upon Alpha Quashers to get it right. Could be one or two extras. It's just keeping your head. Real mental game at this stage. Just another 38 needed. 4 overs. This is out on the first ball, does Masalka. Played off the back foot and played for a late square cut. It's a really powerful shot. And that it carries 4 more runs to the total. Played it beautifully, just went onto the back foot, played late, backward point, unable to stop the hurt that it causes his team. Run rate required, still just hovering around that 9 level. This time goes to play a crossbat shot, trying to pull onto the onside as Masalka. Costs his team. It's another dot ball. Both teams under pressure here. Played out into Point, who just eases it back after realising the batsmen weren't going to run, turned down by his non-striker. Yakara, just realising we don't need to run out now. Let's take this game deep. Look to perhaps put me on strike. Find us a single. There's a nice one there. The Alpha Quashers, they realise they can win this game, especially if they take this wicket of Nanayakara's. They know how valuable it is. They know his worth and the damage he can do. Just making doubly sure they've got the right field setting for him. And umpire just letting the team and captain know, time to play. We've already passed the 5 o'clock mark. That means it's been over 90 minutes. Pushed to Point and single quickly taken. It is over 90 minutes in duration, the second innings. However, they did take an extra break after 10 overs due to player welfare, so perhaps a little behind time, but not too much. Winding up today's cricket this Sunday here in Sano, Japan. He's gone for it, and it hasn't gone far enough. It should be caught at long off, and is caught at long off. Catch taken, and the threat has been distinguished. Just went straight up. Yakara looking to hit over that cover region, trying to find the boundary line on the shorter part of the ground. Unable to do so. And well held in the end from the Alpha Quasher outfielder. 6 wickets down now, 96 on the board. The job's just become somewhat tougher for the Wyverns club. Riyaj Mohammed, the person to take the catch, took it comfortably, made sure of it by getting his body behind it and just going to ground. He knew how big a wicket it was and certainly won. It's just made this a more difficult task for the Wyvern batsman. Kohei Kubota, he can bat, but whether he's expected to try and come in and bat, taking 10 and over for the next 3 overs, it's a different task. Can him and Masao could do it for the team. Turns his non-striker back, calls early though. Realised he hadn't hit the gap through the covers. Kubota is facing the second ball, legitimate ball. This time he finds the gap, races through for a single. Masaka back on strike. What can the left-hander do? Can he be the hero for the team? The whole context of the game would change if they're able to put a couple over the rope. At this stage, however, 32 off 2 and a bit overs. This could be beyond them. Drags it onto his pads and it spills out to the offside for no run. And again, Masalka misses out, and these balls are valuable dots for the Alpha Quashers. Just push that run rate up to 12 now. Each ball counts, being so late in the game. Two overs to go here at Sano. Score 99 for 6. Jai Ganesh to bowl one of the final 2 death overs. Masaka on strike. Swings and misses, and these dots are just costing the team here at the end. Pretty tough coming in at 7 and 8 though, and it's been expected to try and chase down a total going at plus 10 and over. The middle overs really hurt Wyverns. An appeal, but looking to go down leg. Good decision from the umpire. And leg buys was the result. Here's the calculation for you. 28 off 10 balls now. Can Kohei Kubota, known for his pace bowling, can he find the boundary rope? Give his team some hope. I don't think he'll die wondering. Looking to be aggressive here. Comes down the wicket. Punches it. It's an inside edge. He'll try and scoot back for a second. He comfortably does so. They don't mind twos to the Alpha Quashers at this stage. Chance, and falls safely inside the 30-yard circle. Again, they won't be too concerned, Alpha Quashers. It's all about just restricting the runs at this stage. 24 now required just off the 8 balls. They've put too much expectation on the lower order. Just feel through overs 8, 9 and 10 especially, a lot of dot balls taken on by the Wyverns. They just seem to lose their way, and gone. Leg stump is out of the ground. Kubota trying to do something different, trying perhaps just to lap the ball for 4 runs, looking for the boundary, unable to do so. Gives himself room, unable to catch up with the ball, and the leg stump goes cartling. Seven wickets down now, the Wyverns, 104 on the board. They will fall painfully short of this total, which they would have expected to chase down at the beginning of the match. They would have quite happily taken 128 to win. It hasn't worked out that way. Can Kakeru Ibisui be the hero? Can he find the boundary line somehow? 1 ball remains in the 19th over. And it's a dot to finish. So 6 balls remain, and the target still 24 runs away. It will take a valiant effort from either of these batsmen to win it from here. So the final over to be bowled, and he's found 4 runs off the first delivery. That's a good way to start from Masaoka. Replay here, short, and well, easy pickings really for a batsman. Masaoka, can he continue to find that boundary rope? This time he goes over mid-wicket, but he's picked out a fielder. Has cover a deep wicket there, so just the single will bring Ibisui back on strike. And the quicker ball beats him outside off stump. And I imagine there'll be a lot of what-ifs in the debrief tonight for the Wyvern camp. I would have been pretty pleased to bowl the Quashes out. Perhaps if they'd been a bit more ruthless, they had them done and dusted after 14 overs, but the Quashes finished strongly with their innings. Of course, Wyverns will still be a part of this tournament going through to the second stage. They look like they have enough points with one remaining game. Punished for a maximum over mid-wicket. It's a good shot from Masolka. Again, just displaying his power. 18 or 14 balls now. He's played a good knock and will take on the final ball of the innings. And sorry, just a replay there. Getting a bit excited. He will take on the final ball. And unless it's a noble 6, then, well, they can't mathematically have a chance of winning this. Masolka to take on the final ball. Punches it way out to long off. There's room to make up. And they'll come back for a second. And, well, the match is finished here. The winning victors today, the Alpha Quashers Yokohama Club. And then they win it, and they win it by 9 runs. Just shows how close a game it was. And as I say, Wyverns may kick themselves. There'll be periods of the match that they'll look at and think just a little bit more effort. We may have come out with the W. As it stands, as the Alpha Quashers victorious here, Wataru Miyauchi and Rahil Kano, perhaps a bit slow from Rahil today, but they did build a foundation for the incoming batsman. Ane Akara, pity he couldn't stay around for a few more with his run rate. But brightness for the future with Masolka playing a good innings. In terms of the bowling, well, the Alpha Quashers was probably the pick was Puramasami. His 3 for 16 went a long way in making a good contribution to his team. The batting department, the Alpha Quashers, well, perhaps man of the match today, Muhammad Umar, his 44. In the end, he was run out, but perhaps later on, Palanisamy, his 35. So Vignesh probably the pick, along with his bowling as well as the bat, player of the day today perhaps. We hope you've enjoyed today's coverage. Do follow Japan Cricket across the social media channels. We thank you watching via the fan code in the Indian subcontinent. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow all the Japan Cricket content coming up over the next few weeks. This Japan Cricket League T20 will continue with games every Saturday and Sunday. Do join us, do subscribe. Have a good afternoon wherever you're watching this feed from.